Hi guys, welcome to the Premier League Clean Slate, your weekly daily fantasy preview show on DraftKings TV UK. My name is Jamie Hinks from DraftKings FC and I'm here to run you through the penultimate round of fixtures in the Premier League where there is a lot to decide at the relegation end of the table. Head over to the DraftKings lobby after watching this video and you'll find plenty of contests to play ahead of this weekend's games. On Saturday, starting at 3 p.m. over here in the UK and 10 a.m. on the East Coast in the US, there's an 11k striker contest where you can turn $3 into $1,000 using your football knowledge. So let's get on to the games themselves. There's two games down the bottom of the league that I'm going to focus on, which involve Newcastle and Sunderland, who are both fighting for their lives in the relegation battle. Newcastle have been in excellent form of late and are unbeaten in 4 games. They travel to an already relegated Aston Villa side that has not been playing well in recent weeks and will be confident of getting a win there. Their local rivals Sunderland play Chelsea and have lost only 1 of their last 6, but have drawn 4 of them and only won once. Realistically, just one of them can stay in the Premier League, and they sit just a point apart as it stands. Sunderland have more games to play, but 3 draws, if they get them, will not be enough to stay up with Newcastle in this kind of form. So one point to remember ahead of this weekend's games is there's going to be a lot of dead rubbers in the Premier League. Some teams have nothing to play for this season except for pride. So you've got the likes of Bournemouth, West Brom, Swansea, Watford, Everton, Stoke, and Chelsea, who all can't make Europe, all can't really change places in the league that much, and cannot be relegated. Yes, you get an extra 1.2 million for each place you finish further up the table, but with the size of the TV deal that is in place at the moment, the prize money is like small pocket change. For your lineups, this can mean some real value at the bottom of the player pool, as managers will try out new combinations of players ahead of next season. So now let's get on to the players themselves, who I've picked from the 3 p.m. Saturday slate. In goal, at the stud end of the spectrum, we've got Adrian, 4,400. West Ham's keeper has the third highest save total of any keeper in the Premier League, and Swansea have been really poor away from home of late. Then Carl Darlow, 4,300 for Newcastle, has to be worth a look against Aston Villa. Saved a penalty last week against Crystal Palace, of course. And Asmir Begovic, 3,900 for Chelsea. He plays a Sunderland side that really struggle in front of goal. At the value end of the scale, we've got Joel Robles from Everton for 3,600. He has 9 saves and 7 saves in his last 2 weeks. And even though Leicester won the league, I think he'll face a lot of shots again this week. Then Mark Schwarzer, 2,900. He's now won the league 2 years in a row with Chelsea and now Leicester. He could get some minutes because Leicester have won the league and they may want to rest Kasper Schmeichel. Down to the defenders. So for studs, we have Craig Dawson at 4,200 from West Bromwich Albion. He has 11.5 fantasy points per game over the last 4 games and also had a goal against Spurs which almost ended their title hopes. Simon Francis, 4,000 for Bournemouth. Plays in a defence that concedes a lot of goals, but he has high totals for crosses and tackles won. At the value end of the scale, there's only one player I could really pick this week, and it was Jan Kirchhoff, 3,300 for Sunderland. I've been banging this drum for a few weeks now. He's their top tackler, had 9 points last week against Stoke, even though he didn't have an assist or a goal, and he'll have a lot to do in that midfield against Chelsea. Midfielders at the stud end, we've got Dimitri Payet, 8,400, West Ham. He's probably the player on DraftKings this season in terms of a player of the year. He's a must pick. He has a great fixture here. And also this is West Ham's last game at Upton Park. Gylfi Sigurdsson, 6,800 in the same game. The Swansea midfielder could do really well against a West Ham defence that always seem to concede a lot of goals whether they're at home or away. Andros Townsend, 6,600, gets to play against Villa. He's on great form. He got the winner against Palace last week and has been really good under Benitez. Newcastle unbeaten in 4 games too. Johan Cabaye, 5,800, always seems to score a lot of points for Palace. And Eden Hazard, 5,500. He's got 3 goals in 2 games, including that winner against Tottenham. At the value end, Cheku Kiate for West Ham, 3,900. He has 3 double-digit fantasy point days in a row now. Also, Vernon Anita, 3,600. He's still listed as a midfielder on DraftKings, but he plays as a right-back for Benitez and has 13.3 fantasy points per game in the last 3 weeks. Then Ashley Westwood, 4,200. He does play for Villa, but he has a goal and 2 assists in the last 2 weeks. Moving on to the forwards, at the stud end, there's a lack of real top-level talent this week, and Marko Arnautovic at 5,400 is the guy I've gone for. The Stoke striker has 11 goals this season now, and Palace really struggle at home. Also, this will be a good warm-up for him ahead of the Euros this summer where he plays for Austria. Also, Andy Carroll, 5,200 for West Ham. He loves to play against Swansea, and he has 3 goals in his last 2 games against them. At the value end, Jordan Ayew, 4,300 for Aston Villa. 7 goals this season so far, and 2 goals in his last 4 games. He scores well in crosses, he scores well in shots as well. Then Connor Wickham, 4,000 for Crystal Palace. He's fully fit, and when he gets to full fitness, he tends to get a couple of goals. He's facing a very poor Stoke side as well. So my final thoughts ahead of this week is to keep an eye out for those players that want to make a big impression ahead of Euro 2016 and the Copa America in the summer. They could be the real difference between making money and not cashing at all. Finally, check out DraftKings FC when you finish watching this video. There's some great strategy and research content there covering all the leagues that we offer. I'm Jamie Hinks. You can find me on Twitter via the handle @JamieHinksDK, and I hope you have a good Premier League weekend.